Today we come to celebrate Epiphany, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the Mass, Epiphany means to reveal. So today, these magi who represent all of us has come to know and understand that God is real because God has revealed himself to him in the incarnation. It's funny when we meditate and reflect on Epiphany. I was talking to a friend of mine last night about Epiphany. We're having a little sharing. And she said, well, have you ever wondered if the Magi were women? I said, yeah, it could be. I mean, we didn't know if there were three of them. We only associate three kings because there were three gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Maybe there were only two of them. Maybe there were five of them. We don't know. But we associate the three kings because of the three gifts. And then lastly, well, what if they were women? I said, maybe. But if they were women, I'm pretty sure that women will bring practical gifts. They wouldn't bring frankincense, myrrh, and gold. The women will probably bring diapers, blankets, bottles, milk. Then the women, when they arrive to Bethlehem and see Jesus in the manger, the first thing they would probably do is clean the manger. Make sure Jesus has a new set of diapers. Maybe they start cooking food to tend to Mary and Joseph. And then lastly, and I jokingly said to her, I'm sure it's not women because they won't be saved for a very short time. Women will be there for a little longer than they should be. So something for reflection. Epiphany and the Magi, I want to reflect with you on Magi. See, Magi are considered scientists. They're people of intelligence, people who study the stars, astrology. But I wonder, as I was preparing for this homily today, I thought to myself, if these guys, these wise guys, were men of great intelligence, why did they stop to ask for direction? If they already knew that the star would take them to Jesus, then why did they stop at Judah, where Herod is, and ask? What I came up in my reflection is, as Magi, as I said, they are scientists. All of us has some kind of intelligence or a level of intelligence. Some of us hold maybe bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate. I don't know what else is above a doctor. And then a lot of us has experience, 5 years, 10 years, 20, so forth and so forth. We may have a lot of that in our belts. But these experiences, this intelligence that we have, is nothing if it doesn't lead us to Christ. Because we see that very common in today's world. When people feel like, oh, I've gained this experience, I have a master's degree or a doctorate degree, therefore I know it all. And I know that there is no God. The Magi knew it all. They knew the stars, they knew how the world works. But if they were not humble enough to stop and ask for help in their journey, it means nothing. We see that in the gifts that they present. They present gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, we can go and explain this in theological terms of what these gifts mean. But I would say that these gifts represent each social class: the rich, the middle class, and the poor. For all of us, we are equal in faith, we're equal in our experiences, and somewhat in our intelligence. But if we ourselves in these social classes, from whatever level of intelligence and experience that we have, if we take that which is given to us by God, and we then turn around and say, I do not acknowledge you, Lord, or there is no such thing as a God, it is useless. What we have, as far as our degrees, is from God. And just like the Magi who went towards the star, and instead of going towards Herod, Herod represents the world and all that it is bad, it is useless. So this is a reflection for us, especially those who are students and those who will be going to college or still in college, that the degree and the intelligence and the experience that you have, you should be able to use that same gift given to you by God to turn back to God, not to turn away from God. And same thing with all of us who are elderly and so forth, who has experience behind or under our belts. Use these experiences, this sense of intellect. This is why John in his gospel calls Jesus, or the word, logos. What is logos? Logic, understanding, knowledge. To use our logos to bring people to God, to bring us to God. And that is the message of the Magi. See, the Magi could have just been very egoistic on themselves and say, well, I don't need to ask for directions. I don't need the help of anybody. Because that's what happened to Herod. The chief priests and Herod's advisors told Herod, chief priests and the advisors of Herod are men of intellect. They told Herod, no, you should not mess with this child. He is from God. But Herod did not listen. Herod was so consumed by his ego, consumed by the experience and the intelligence that he has with him as a king, that he was willing to kill Jesus as a baby so that he can attain glory by himself. And that is a simple message for us. As we come today in Epiphany, where the Lord reveals himself to us and to all of the nations, the Lord is revealing that what we have is from him. And may we give back to him all that we have in both body, mind, and spirit. May that also be a reflection this new year of 2022. May we enter this new year with a sense of humility, a sense of grace from God, so that we too can be humble in ourselves, so that we can turn to God and bring others to him.